Canadian Aquatic Auctions, the place to be if you are into anything aquatic. Nelson Fletcher, owner and operator, has years of experience and wants to help you better achieve your aquatic needs and goals. So if you're an aquatic hobbyist and enthusiast, please visit Canadian Aquatic Auctions today. Their public auctions provide a venue to remarket all aquatic-related products, services, and equipment. If you are just starting out in the hobby, the site has a tack room where you can converse with other aquatic hobbyists like yourself. Canadian Aquatic Auctions is the eBay of everything aquatic. So visit Nelson at his site at www.aquariumauctions.ca or go check out his Facebook page as well at www.facebook.com/Canadian Aquatic Sales. Together we can build lasting relationships that are based on listening and servicing your needs in a professional environment. Canadian Aquatic Auctions.
My name's James. For 6 years, I was a garbage can druggie. I would do any kind of drug I would get my hands on. But here at Teen Challenge, I've walked away from that drug lifestyle for good.
If you know an adult or teenager who is struggling with a chemical addiction, Teen Challenge is there to help. Please, don't wait. Call us today at 417-862-6969 or reach us on the web at teenchallengeusa.com.
Skis Watch and Clock, 106 West Central Avenue, Winter Haven, Florida, 33880. Located downtown across from the main post office. When you're short on time, he's right on time. For all of your watch, clock, sales, and service needs, call Skis, 863-294-5630. Sales, service, free estimates, and reasonable rates. That's 863-294-5630 for Skis Watch and Clock.
This is our time. We play without limits. We create without rules. We are not for sale. We connect with the whole world. Every idea we've shaped, every relationship we've cultivated belongs to us. We demand the freedom to be our uncensored selves. And when something challenges that, we change it. Together. This is our time.
One, two, three.
Let's start a revolution. Let's MeWe. Join the revolution at MeWe.com.
Do you want to capture the best memories you can? Is wanting to preserve those memories your goal? Do you want your memories to last a lifetime? Do you want your memories to look beautiful in pictures? Well, if you live in Southern Oregon or Northern California, there's one place that you can save those treasures for a lifetime. Grateful Heart Photography. Abigail Summers is your solution for capturing your favorite moments and memories like birthdays, graduations, weddings, family portraits, single shots, and more. She can also capture the finest scenery shots around and make them available all across the country and around the world at a price that can suit your budget. So if you're looking for the right photographer that can preserve your legacy, look no further than Abigail Summers at Grateful Heart Photography. Call Abby at 541-890-4657 or message her at her Facebook page by searching Grateful Heart Photography. Much of her work is displayed there. Feel grateful for the memories captured by Grateful Heart Photography.
If you're looking for action-packed classic fun, look no further.
Carter, it's a machine gun! Look out, Daddy!
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
For the best in old-time radio adventures, you've come to the right place. This is one nostalgic weekend.
Saturdays and Sundays, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Action VR Network.
Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Everybody, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins.
All right, and welcome. And welcome here to our show. Getting this thing finally underway here after technical issue. And we are working to get this matter taken care of. But I do want to make sure it looks like this will not be like this when people do see the finished deal on this. I, however, do want to make mention here of one thing, of the fact that I am doing this special on the Miami Dolphins to really jump in on the fact that I think for most of us, you know, who love our Dolphins, we're all Dolph fans here, but I have to say that truthfully, I'm upset with what's happening here with the Dolphins. Yes, I knew it was going to be a tank year. I was hoping the rebuild, like a lot of people were hoping, would still have players that are going to be a part of that future. But, you know, I got to say, in the long run of things here, you know, I think we got a lot to be worried about as Dolph fans. I think we got a lot to be worried about. You know, as fans of our beloved Miami Dolphins, and you know, I just, Now, with Minkah Fitzpatrick wanting to be traded, I thought Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of those that was not going to want to be traded. And now he does, and they're granting him his trade. I thought they would have fought to keep Minkah Fitzpatrick. I believe that this team really could go somewhere. And I'm just, I'm just in shock over this. I know that we're going to be in rebuild mode, and and I just, I figured they were keeping players together. I figured they were going to try and do something with the defense. The one spot that is the strongest on the Miami Dolphins is the secondary. With guys like Rashard Jones, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Xavier Howard. I figured that would be great. I know Howard is staying, because the push they gave him with money, which is all good, which is all well and good. I'm not complaining about that. But what I am going to say here is the fact that Minkah Fitzpatrick, I thought, was probably the only one that they were going to keep. That was the rumor that was going on, was that they were going to keep him. If anything was going to change, it was probably going to happen more more in the defense, that they would keep certain guys, Minkah being one of them, and to really just rebuild this team. Now it looks like it might be from scratch, because I think as time goes on this season, I don't think they're going to have that secondary, with the exception to Xavier Howard. I really don't, and I just really think if this is a tank for Tua, I don't know if it's really a tank for Tua. I think they really would want to wait another year. I think they really would, and get Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. But they're looking to build from the ground up, and that's what they're doing. I think if they're going to do anything here, when it comes down to free agency, I think now they're going to have to look at their defense a lot more, because you're going to look at a defense that's only going to have Christian Wilkins and Xavier Howard when it comes down to it. And I just want to keep this in mind. When you look at what the Dolphins gotten rid of and what they traded, they're looking to rebuild this thing from the ground up. And but when fans aren't happy, front office takes to the fans, and it's like, oh, let's fire the coach, let's fire this one, let's fire that one. I think they want to do like the Cleveland Browns, and just try and rebuild this thing. I think that's what is really what's on their mind when it comes down to this. When it comes down to wanting to do this, make this move. But we're going to have to see how it's really going to go. And truth let it be known, and we're going to take a commercial break so I can get things all caught up here. But, how are we supposed to feel on this matter? How are we supposed to feel? That's what we got to think about. Let's take commercial time out. We'll be right back.
Canadian Aquatic Auctions, the place to be if you are into anything aquatic. Nelson Fletcher, owner and operator, has years of experience and wants to help you better achieve your aquatic needs and goals. So if you're an aquatic hobbyist and enthusiast, please visit Canadian Aquatic Auctions today. Their public auctions provide a venue to remarket all aquatic-related products, services, and equipment. If you are just starting out in the hobby, the site has a tack room where you can converse with other aquatic hobbyists like yourself. Canadian Aquatic Auctions is the eBay of everything aquatic. So visit Nelson at his site at www.aquariumauctions.ca or go check out his Facebook page as well at www.facebook.com/Canadian Aquatic Sales. Together we can build lasting relationships that are based on listening and servicing your needs in a professional environment. Canadian Aquatic Auctions.
My name's James. For 6 years, I was a garbage can druggie. I would do any kind of drug I would get my hands on. But here at Teen Challenge, I've walked away from that drug lifestyle for good.
If you know an adult or teenager who is struggling with a chemical addiction, Teen Challenge is there to help. Please, don't wait. Call us today at 417-862-6969 or reach us on the web at teenchallengeusa.com.
Skis Watch and Clock, 106 West Central Avenue, Winter Haven, Florida, 33880. Located downtown across from the main post office. When you're short on time, he's right on time. For all of your watch, clock, sales, and service needs, call Skis, 863-294-5630. Sales, service, free estimates, and reasonable rates. That's 863-294-5630 for Skis Watch and Clock.
This is our time. We play without limits. We create without rules. We are not for sale. We connect with the whole world. Every idea we've shaped, every relationship we've cultivated belongs to us. We demand the freedom to be our uncensored selves. And when something challenges that, we change it. Together. This is our time.
One, two, three.
Let's start a revolution. Let's MeWe. Join the revolution at MeWe.com.
Do you want to capture the best memories you can? Is wanting to preserve those memories your goal? Do you want your memories to last a lifetime? Do you want your memories to look beautiful in pictures? Well, if you live in Southern Oregon or Northern California, there's one place that you can save those treasures for a lifetime. Grateful Heart Photography. Abigail Summers is your solution for capturing your favorite moments and memories like birthdays, graduations, weddings, family portraits, single shots, and more. She can also capture the finest scenery shots around and make them available all across the country and around the world at a price that can suit your budget. So if you're looking for the right photographer that can preserve your legacy, look no further than Abigail Summers at Grateful Heart Photography. Call Abby at 541-890-4657 or message her at her Facebook page by searching Grateful Heart Photography. Much of her work is displayed there. Feel grateful for the memories captured by Grateful Heart Photography.
If you're looking for action-packed classic fun, look no further.
Carter, there's a machine gun. Look out, Danny!
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
For the best in old-time radio adventures, you've come to the right place. This is one nostalgic weekend.
Saturdays and Sundays, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Action VR Network.
All right, and we are back, and I'm going to tell you, I had to take that break just to take care of one thing here, and we have done it. But I do want to make mention here too of the fact that a lot of people are looking at this as a fire sale. I'm not looking at this as a fire sale at all. Fire sale would be more like what the Marlins did after winning a championship, after winning the World Series. And you took those World Series champions and you just... what'd you do with them? You basically, you sold them. You sold that team away. You basically took that team and you turned it into You turned it into a shambles. And why am I saying this? A lot of people are going to say, Bob, why are you saying this? The Dolphins are just looking to rebuild. The Marlins weren't going to rebuild until they sold that team. And that's why the fire sale. Wayne Huizinga didn't want to pay for him anymore. So Huizinga therefore, got up his business and sold. He took a loss personally. He was a billionaire. I think he should have let that $34 million that he lost, put the money right back into him, because he would have made that money back, because they won the World Series. And they were going to be that competitive team. And people were going to go and see them. Your own stadium, your own team, you had it. How do you not look? That's a fire sale. And that's and I'm just saying because truth, let it be known. They're just, because Marlins were trading players away for buckets and towels, really. That's really what was happening to the Marlins. The Dolphins are trading for draft picks. They're looking for nothing but new players. I'm just writing something. I'm just saying. I'm not hating here. I'm just saying. And I'm saying this mainly because of the fact that this isn't a fire sale. They're looking for first round picks with almost most of their big quality picks. Personally, if someone offers them some second round draft picks, and I use that term with a plural with the nets at the end, picks. If someone has at least 2 picks in the second round and maybe gives up a second round pick next year on a team, Minkah Fitzpatrick, to me that's all good. Because something tells me the Dolphins are going to tank, but they're not going to tank for Tua. They literally would take a trade down just to get another trade the next year, maybe even have a later pick instead. Because mark my words on this one, the Dolphins are going to have to get a new O-line. They're going to have to work on the secondary now too. So, believe me, if the Dolphins could have 8 or 9 picks within the first 3 rounds, and maybe even have a compensatory pick in the 3rd round, that would be good for them to just build. I would be getting offense. I'd be getting an offensive tackle if they have at least 2 to 3 picks, and one of those picks was early and another pick was mid, and the other one was a little later on. I'll say this. I would say, and I'm going to say this. I would, if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I would allow this.
You just have to. You just have to.
And I'm just, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this, as something that's really going to, that really should work. And to me, the Dolphins are going to have to do that. They're going to have to at least get an offensive tackle. With the early pick, they're going to have to take the later pick and probably get themselves and find themselves a worthy corner, or a worthy nickel. They're going to have to, look at the fact that they're going to have to look at that, because I think Minkah Fitzpatrick's going to be gone. And I think Rashard Jones will be gone too. And I'm just saying here. I am just saying in all of this. I'm not jumping the gun on anything. I'm not trying to do that. But you're looking at the having to work on both sides of the ball. And and I'm going to tell you, if you get a later pick and you still have there are good centers out there and none of the good centers have been taken, you're looking at getting a center. So you're looking at least your first round doing two things just for your front line. A center and a left tackle are going to be the most important there first. Second is, when you get into the second round, you're going to want to find yourself a linebacker if you keep if you have the 33rd overall pick in the second. You're also going to want to look to get you're also going to have to look if you have multiple picks in the second round. Let's say you have three. I think they do have 2 or 3 in the second round. If you can get yourself 3, you're also going to look at getting, trying to get yourself a running back and at least another person in the secondary that could definitely do it. Maybe even have to get yourself a brand new safety that way. Maybe you could find yourself that Landon Collins-like safety like the Giants did. A few years back. So that's what you're looking at. This isn't a fire sale. Not by a long shot. This is a rebuild. This is a total rebuild, and they're trading off players just to do this. There are too many teams in win now mode. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, teams should be willing to make any offer to get him. To me, there's 2 teams that could really use Minkah Fitzpatrick the most. One is the New Orleans Saints, and the other is the San Francisco 49ers. There's 3 actually. I also put the Baltimore Colts on that list, and to me, the Colts could probably use him the most because they got to improve that defense. They got to treat things as if if you still got Andrew Luck and you're still trying to find ways to win. So you got to look at that. So if I'm the Dolphins, I'm looking at where possibilities lie with this Minkah Fitzpatrick deal. But this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt the fan base that goes to the games because they're not going to be entertained by a tank. You'll see people like me going, oh yeah, 0-16, baby, 0-16 for my own team, which is the Dolphins. But you're going to have fans that are your season ticket holders that aren't going to be happy about this. And this is where it hurts the most. You could probably get a second round pick for Rashard Jones. You're probably going to be lucky if you can get a 4th round pick for Charles Harris, who was a first round pick only a few years ago. Charles Harris has not been that good. Raekwon McMillan, you could probably get away with a 3rd or even a 2nd round pick for him. Probably by a team that really just needs to fill spots. It would probably be a late 2nd round pick then. Charles Harris, you'll be lucky to get a 4th round pick for him. You'd be lucky. You'd probably settle for a 5th pick if they take over the entire contract and you don't have to pay out guarantees. So you got to look at that. Otherwise, the rest of them, I don't know what you'd get for them. They're still worthy players, but some of them know they're going to be there the entire year. I think some of them are being practical about this. But this is we've had a Dolphin team. This has been traditionally the thing. The Dolphin team has either sucked or they look good for a while and then they really start to go down because all of a sudden the players start slowing down. So I think they want young and healthy. I think that's what they really want at this point. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what, that is what's going to happen. I mean, we're looking at, I don't know how many picks the Dolphins have yet. I haven't really taken the time to look that up. But, it really does, it's really what it is. And I'm like I said, this isn't a fire sale. I don't like that term, fire sale, really. Because fire sale means you're just giving up players for the sake of, cutting your budget. And you're going to become a losing team. This is more about the fact that you're rebuilding. If Huizenga still owned the Marlins for another 3 or 4 years, that would not be, they would not have jumped back up and been competitive. John Henry paid so much for them, but Wayne Huizenga, took so much at the same time too, to where that was not a competitive, that they didn't care. When the new owners came in, they shocked everyone and made the moves that needed to be made. And they wound up winning another World Series. But they still had a hard time keeping that team together, and they did more to keep that team together. But again, you had Huizenga at the time, who still owned what's now known as Hard Rock Stadium, taking most of the ticket sales from that. I mean, Marlins were lucky if they got anything. If they were going to do it, it was going to be off jersey sales. But they tried better to keep that team together. But when you see fire sales like this going on, you know what's happening here. But the Dolphins, they're trying to do the same thing the Browns did. If you look at the Browns, for as long as they were there, and they were constantly getting multiple draft picks in the first 3 rounds, that was them rebuilding. And if you look at them, they made sure, especially in those 3 rounds, that they made sure that their picks counted for something. Sometimes even with even going into the 4th. And that's what people got to remember when they look at this thing. The Dolphins, they're going to be doing things similar, but I think they want to do it faster. It's either going to be, and I think they're going to get their quarterback now with Tua, or they may even, for all we know, they may be holding on till he's in better shape and the front line is in better shape and try and use and by next year, try and use Josh Rosen. Maybe Josh Rosen can do it, and we're just not seeing it that way. But I'm not a believer in that one. I think Josh Rosen probably doesn't have it, which is why you see the O-line that he had before when he was out there in Arizona. But we're gonna have to see what's going to happen, what's going to be next, because that in the end is what we got to look at. I don't see it. I don't see it way other than this, and that's where it's good. For a lot of fans, it's going to hurt this season. I think they're going to get interested next season when they see the type of rookies that they're going to be bringing in, and I think they're going to be bringing in some good ones. Believe me. I think the offensive line. I think the offensive lines in the drafts are going to start getting better. The offensive linemen. I think there's going to be more options there. The Dolphins, I think they want to find their new Richmond Webb. I think that's really what it is. I think they really want to find their new Richmond Webb, and that's where I think it's going to go. So, let's see where this is going to head. We already know what's going to happen here. But we're going to have to see come draft time what they do. I think they may trade down. I don't think it's going to be Tua they're going to go after. I think they're going to have another bad season and probably still be a last place team, just not 0-16, and they're going to go and get Trevor Lawrence. That's what I think is going to happen, because the next year, if they could get more picks, they're going to wind up having to get another offensive lineman. They're going to have to get they're going to have to look at least getting a right tackle and a offensive guard to go with with what I said they should get with a center and a left tackle. They're going to have to look to at least get a left guard, there, then, in the first round. And then the next 2 rounds, they're going to have to either look at getting a wide receiver or looking at their defense and looking for a impactful defensive end. I think they're going to also have to look for, I think they're also going to have to eventually, maybe in the second round, look for a nose tackle. But I think they'll have more than one first round pick. And I think that they're eventually going to go for something more like more like maybe maybe still try keep working on on the defensive front, and get themselves either a defensive end or like I said before, a defensive end, or get themselves a defensive tackle. Then get a nose tackle. Then look at if they have extra picks in the second round, going and picking up another wide receiver. Because I'm going to tell you, after that, if 2021 comes around, and let's say he does go out there and he does his thing, Trevor Lawrence does his thing and goes into the draft, I think he's not going to go till 2022. I think he'll let himself have a senior year and be a redshirt almost instantly. So I'll say that. So get Trevor Lawrence, get it done, and just roll with it that way. But at the same time, I look at this thing and I don't think everyone is for them doing this. I think they would rather see them stay competitive throughout this one, and just get the team together, because there's no guarantees with a Trevor Lawrence. There's no guarantees with a Tua. There's those are some of the things we got to look at. But I think we're going to be coming up. I think between 2021 and 2022, we're really going to see offensive linemen really start coming up. But if they can get themselves at least, at least 3 first-round picks and 2 first-round picks, in 2021, then I think that they'd be doing fine there. As long as they can get themselves multiple picks in the second round and the third round, because those are where it counts the most for teams. Other teams go into maintenance mode right after the third round. Some of them, if they're late in the third round, they'll go right into maintenance mode then. But this is a team that really needs to have things worked out. But we're going to take our final commercial timeout here. I'm taking a lot of commercials. This is meant to be a short show, and we're going to just we're just going to do this thing. We're going to do it right